As I finished my PhD, I read a quote: "Knowledge is nothing without follow-through." Knowledge is nothing without follow-through. That's when I knew that this was not the end, but merely the beginning. More research needs to be done. The New Zealand Pain Foundation will fund research on self-treatments for chronic pain conditions, as well as the associated conditions of depression. There will be no profit, no monetary profit in these trials whatsoever. The profit will be the improvement of the human condition. The profit will be empowering people, a new generation, on how to look after their health, rather than take pharmaceutical medications alone. I'd like to thank my wife, Satna, Chuni and Sushila, and Patrick, my good friend. They've been meeting for months and have prepared the catering for tonight. I'd like to thank Sumiti and Waka for setting up the hall for us, and the volunteers who have helped make tonight possible, who have worked tirelessly over the last few days. Fran, Mary, Raybon and Rachel, and David Ironside. I'd like to thank you for taking up this invitation. Rachel Page was my supervisor and friend for the last 6 years. I'm really thrilled that our association will continue as we perform the research. I was talking to a colleague and doctor recently from Christchurch, and he said to me, the more money you raise, the more quickly solutions will be found. So give generously tonight. You can give a donation, or you can buy the second edition of the book, and 100% of the proceeds from the book will go to the foundation tonight. I'd urge you all to donate, as you never know when you may be a benefactor of this research. After all, research can be a very useful thing in life. The 30-something team who are out in force tonight already know this. I recently read a paper, and if you drink 3 alcoholic beverages a week, you experience half the number of headaches than those that don't drink at all. So don't feel guilty when you reach for that third beer tonight. Or in the case of the 30-something beer, the 30th beer. Thanks, and have a good night.
Thanks, Garesh. And now let's welcome to the stage. You saw her in the video. She was Garesh's PhD supervisor and the editor of the book. The editor of the book that that's on sale tonight. Please welcome to the stage the director of Massey University's Institute of Food, Nutrition and Human Health. A big round of applause, please. Dr. Rachel Page.
Thanks. Well, actually, what I've got in my speech tonight, I've already said in the documentary, so it's going to be a bit of a repeat. But hello, everyone, and thank you very much for coming tonight. It's with great pleasure that I am here tonight. As mentioned by Raven, I am Director of the Institute of Food, Nutrition and Human Health at Massey University. I'm also Regional Director for the College of Health at Massey University on the Wellington campus. So the College of Health has actually 3 what we call key goals, and those goals are promotion of human health and wellbeing, prevention of disease and injury, and protection of health. And what Goresh and myself want to do in our research and are going to be doing certainly fits very nicely within the College of Health Massey University goals. So I'm really excited about the research that we're going to be doing. I'm very excited about doing research that's going to be very beneficial for people that are chronic pain sufferers. As I've said to my students in pharmacology, chronic pain is probably one of the hardest things to treat. And as I mentioned in the documentary there, we do have what we call the World Health Organization treatment strategy as a guideline for helping people that are suffering chronic pain sufferers. And in that World Health Pain Ladder, you start off at the bottom rung with what we call non-opioid analgesics. So they're our drugs like our pain relievers like paracetamol and ibuprofen. And then as your pain intensity and severity increases, you can start to add in some other analgesics such as our opioid analgesics. And so they are drugs like our tramadol and morphine and pethidine. So people that are suffering with pain will be on a combination of analgesics, but what we'll also have is some adjunct drugs that we call, so other drugs that we can add in to help the people deal with their pain. And those drugs will come at any stage of that World Pain Ladder that we talk about. And those drugs can be antidepressants, they can be sedatives, antispasmodics, antipsychotics. So what you'll find is that people that are suffering, chronic pain sufferers, will be on a cocktail of drugs. And the sad thing is, after time, a length of time, those cocktail of drugs become less effective. We have to be looking at different treatment strategies. We really do. And so when Goresh came and saw me in 2008 and 2009, he had this idea about doing a clinical trial where he wanted to investigate non-invasive treatment strategy for helping people that have chronic pain. And it was intriguing to me. I thought, it's going to be very interesting in our very pharmacological-driven medical system. But I thought it's really important that we do this. And Goresh had already started to develop a model about chronic pain, the development of chronic pain. And in his PhD, he further worked on that theory about development of chronic pain, but he also did his clinical trial. And the clinical trial, as Goresh already mentioned, was where he was looking at the sauna, which is your non-invasive treatment and self-treatment, as a means for reducing severity and frequency of pain for those people that suffered from chronic tension headaches. Not a myth, it worked. And what we found that sauna did indeed reduce the headache intensity for those people that took the intervention of sauna. So really exciting. So what we really need to be doing is we need to be providing evidence for these self-treatment strategies. There is anecdotal evidence for some non-pharmacological treatments, but we have to have the evidence to support their significance. Otherwise, they're not going to be there and to be used. Really important. The non-invasive treatment methods need to be investigated, as I said, to look at their impact on pain. But as Goresh has mentioned, we also need to be looking at the impact on the comorbidities that are associated with people that with chronic pain. So depression, sleep disorders, diabetes, fatigue. We need to be looking at the impact of these treatment strategies on those comorbidities as well. Extremely important. So why do we need to do the research? We need to provide evidence to support the use of these treatment strategies so that they can then be put into what I called, which I mentioned in the documentary there, a treatment toolbox for people that suffer with chronic pain. So we've got our medications, but we can also have those other self-treatment strategies. It's really important, but we've got to provide the evidence to say that they are significant and will make a difference. And that means that people with chronic pain can then have not just medications to look at, they can have other strategies that they can go in there to help them with dealing with their pain and coping with their pain. It would be fantastic if we actually found things to look at the cause and get rid of the pain altogether. So I'm really excited about working with Goresh and looking at the next few years with the research that we're going to be doing, delivering research that will make a real difference to people's lives. And the research is not abstract, it involves real people with real problems. Thank you.